Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, an NBA superstar brings a group of celebrities to Torrance for a night of bowling and fundraising.
And just how important are blood donations to the Red Cross? Blood Donor Awareness Month teaches us just how many people are giving much needed help.
And the FBI joins Torrance police in the search for people responsible for a string of recent bank robberies.
And Torrance high students come together to celebrate Martin Luther King Day with a 25-year-old tradition.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chin.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. President Obama's recent State of the Union address has outlined a plan to help working families. The January 20th speech pointed to examples of the American economy's bounce back from the recession that started in 2008. Gallup's U.S. Economic Confidence Index, the American public's positive economic outlook, is on the rise. At the top of the president's list to keep that trend going are proposals he says will help working families feel more financially secure. He says his budget will address the availability of high-quality, affordable child care, saying it's not a nice-to-have, rather it's a must-have. And as for the ever-changing and always competitive job market, the president has a plan to lower the cost of community college to zero. In the same speech, President Obama said 40% of college students choose community college, which includes experienced workers looking for better jobs or single parents looking for an affordable way to transition back to the job market. According to the research website, bestplaces.net, Torrance's household income is $23,000 a year, higher than the U.S. average, while the unemployment rate is 42% lower than the national average.
The Golden State may be joining in on a new trend of higher education. The Chancellor of California's vast community college system announced the first list of schools recommended for a pilot program offering a bachelor's degree. Chancellor Bryce Harris presented the California Community College Board of Governors with a list of 15 schools, which included campuses from the Bay Area down to San Diego. Last year, Senator Marty Block established a 7-year pilot program, allowing a maximum of 15 college districts to offer a 4-year degree in subjects not offered by the University of California or California State University systems. He says the program could reduce the state's unemployment rate and it would give employers a more qualified workforce to draw from. Of the state's 112 community colleges, 34 schools applied, and of the 15 announced, the closest to the South Bay area includes West Los Angeles College for Dental Hygiene, Rio Hondo College for Automotive Technology, Santa Ana College for Occupational Studies, and Santa Monica College for Interaction Design. The board is scheduled to take a preliminary vote on the proposal and then a final approval in March. Currently, 19 other states have community colleges that offer bachelor's degrees.
In the University of California system, student-athlete success in the classroom could soon take priority over success on the field, at least in their coaches' bank accounts. A group of UC regents met to discuss linking the academic grades and graduation rates of athletes to the financial bonuses of their coaches. Currently, coaches mostly receive bonuses based on team performance in competition and championships, not their performance in the classroom. The new standards this proposal sets would eliminate those existing type bonuses once coach contracts are up for renewal or a new coach is hired. For example, UCLA's football coach Jim Mora could earn $930,000 in bonuses on top of his $3.2 million salary this year based on the Bruins' on-field performance. Under the new proposal, all those bonuses could be at risk if his contract were up for renewal.
Well, for the third year in a row, Toyota topped the list as the world's highest-selling automaker. For more than 70 years, General Motors held the title as world's top-selling maker until Toyota took their place in 2008. In 2011, the devastating earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan hobbled Toyota's production and sales. And ever since then, Toyota has taken its spot back at the top with growing sales each year worldwide. In 2014, the company sold 10.2 10.23 million vehicles, more than Volkswagen and General Motors. After the success of the 2014 sales, they are projecting a slight drop for 2015. The global projection from Toyota would bring them down 2%. It's a decrease they anticipate because of population decline in Japan and overall decline in the Japanese market. Here in America, Toyota sales grew by 6% from 2013, with the largest increase taking place in China.
January is Blood Donor Awareness Month, and residents are participating at a Torrance Red Cross Donor Center. The month-long event is actually a result of winter months being slow for donations caused by holiday travel, inclement weather, and regular illness. The Red Cross is working to collect more than 41,000 blood donations daily in order to maintain what they call a stable supply. Blood platelets are used in a variety of treatments. For example, a victim of a car accident can require up to 100 pints of blood, while most cancer patients need blood during chemotherapy. It's estimated that less than 10% of the eligible population donates each year.
When you donate blood, you save 3 lives just by 1 pint. Platelets only last for 5 days. They're given to cancer patients, leukemia patients, people that have undergone open heart surgery. You're saving lives just by donating, so it's a great thing to do. It builds the community, and you need to do it.
If you put yourself in the eyes of the cancer patient who needs the blood, or accident victim, it's going to feel like a pinch for about a second, and then it's it. And you know that you're rolling up a sleeve to help someone in a position where they probably don't want to be. And if you look at it like that, you realize that you're helping someone, and you're helping someone in a very critical time.
For more on where and how you can donate, visit redcross.org.
West Torrance High School students gathered in the student parking lot recently for the annual EWaste Recycling Drive. Every year around mid-January, West High's Environmental Club, partnered with the California Scholarship Federation, offer a community service by giving residents a place to donate their unused or outdated electronic devices. They collect everything from microwaves, batteries, to old computers. Now, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans throw away as many as 3 million tons of electronics yearly. The average phone, for example, is thrown away every 18 months, creating a growing environmental problem. The toxic waste from electronic devices can cause damage to soil and water when not disposed of properly, making the need for responsible waste processors greater.
This company is called EWaste Center, and they do it completely for free. But whereas other companies, they charge. Last year we had about 2,000 electronics brought in, so we're trying to reach that mark again, because it was a high for us last year.
In community drives like this, items can be restored or even stripped for parts and later used to fix broken devices. The Blacksmith Institute estimates that toxic e-waste threatens the health of 100 million people worldwide.
The measles outbreak is on the rise in Southern California, and health authorities say the best way to ward off the illness is to get vaccinated. The outbreak, centered in California, now confirms more than 50 cases of the illness, and officials warn that more people will likely fall sick with this highly contagious virus. Officials say there's evidence that the measles outbreak had spread beyond people who visited Disneyland in mid-December and began infecting people in the broader community. 24 students from Huntington Beach High were sent home recently after a warning about a potential exposure on the high school campus earlier this month. While the state law requires school children to get the MMR shots to protect against measles, mumps, and rubella, parents can get an exemption by signing a personal waiver. Health officials say signs and symptoms appear 10 to 14 days after exposure to the virus. Symptoms include high fever, dry cough, runny nose, sore throat, inflamed eyes, and red blotchy skin. In rare cases, measles can lead to pneumonia and brain infections, which can be fatal. According to the CDC, 640 cases were reported from 27 states just last year.
While the measles vaccine is said to be proven successful, this year's flu vaccines are not. According to health officials, this season the flu vaccine is proving to be only 23% effective, when normally they would prevent 60 to 65% of infections. And the reason? Well, the CDC says the viruses used to make the vaccine aren't a good match for the viruses now spreading across the country. Scientists select the viruses to be used in flu vaccines in the spring in order to give manufacturers enough time to produce the vaccines. But this year, scientists noticed that influenza A, or H3N2, the dominant strain in circulation, began mutating almost immediately. About 68% of these viruses have now drifted to be genetically different from the flu viruses used in vaccines. The CDC still recommends that people get their flu shot. Officials note that flu vaccines protect against 3 to 4 different strains of flu viruses, so a flu vaccine may protect people against different strains of viruses such as influenza B, which often shows up late in the season. The CDC is also urging patients and health providers to make greater use of antiviral drugs such as Tamiflu and Relenza. If taken within the first 24 to 48 hours after symptoms appear, antivirals can reduce the length of time that people are sick by 1 to 2 days.
And in more health news, apples from a Bakersfield grower are the latest cause of an FDA recall. The Central Valley grower, Bidart Brothers, is the suspected source of the bacteria Listeria monocytogenes, which has infected 32 people as of January 9th. Symptoms of listeriosis include fever, headaches, nausea, and neck stiffness, in some cases proving fatal. The outbreak has been confirmed in 11 states, including California, and the FDA is advising consumers not to eat Granny Smith and Gala apples. The FDA also says consumers can ask the retailer if any of their apples have been supplied by Bidart Brothers. They say you should also get rid of any apples in which you can't determine the source.
Torrance residents may notice new signs going up around their neighborhood. No parking, street sweeping signs are being installed on residential streets south of Sepulveda Boulevard. Back in May, the city approved a new citywide alternate day street sweeping program to improve street cleaning efforts and to comply with stormwater regulations. The city's contractor will hand deliver a notice to each resident 1 week prior to the installation of the new signs on their street. After signs are installed, residents are asked to observe the signs for the day and time of the parking restriction. Signs will restrict parking for a 3-hour period, 1 day a week. Now, there will be a 3-week grace period before parking citations are issued.
The FBI, LA County Sheriff's detectives, along with Torrance police officers, are on the search for 3 robbers they're calling 2 guys and a girl bandits. Officials believe they may have struck again recently, holding up the Wells Fargo bank branch on Artesia and Hawthorne Boulevard, demanding cash from the tellers. The robbery was conducted similarly to a December 30th robbery at the Calcom Federal Credit Union on Hawthorne Boulevard and Emerald Avenue, and a holdup on Rancho Palos Verdes early December. While it first appeared that the robbers were 3 men, FBI agents believe 1 robber was female in those crimes. On January 21st, a single suspect robbed the Wells Fargo branch on Hawthorne Boulevard across from Del Amo Fashion Center. The second time in just 4 days, a Wells Fargo was robbed in Torrance. In this instance, no weapons were in use, as the lone robber simply passed a note to a teller. Anyone with additional information about the identity or the whereabouts of the suspects are asked to contact Torrance Police at 310-618-5570.
Still ahead, look out for Torrance on Super Bowl Sunday. A local bowling lane is showcased for a national audience.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are. If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back. Students at Torrance High celebrated Martin Luther King Day the same way it's been done on campus since 1990. The annual Hands Across Campus celebration is a school tradition inspired by Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. 25 years after the first Hands Across Campus, what started out as a small presentation has become a school-wide celebration. Students of all cultural and ethnic backgrounds dressed in traditional attire representing their own diverse backgrounds. 4 of the school's 8 culture clubs had performances in this year's event, hosted by Torrance High's Black Culture Club. According to Robert Patterson, the club sponsor, there were so many participants in the MLK Day event that the host had to cut their own presentation short. They'll be performing for the school at another Torrance High rally during Black History Month. Patterson also says the Hands Across Campus event is completely put on by volunteers, and even though students aren't required to attend, they still manage to fill the gym and mezzanine.
Especially with the things that are happening in our everyday lives, it truly warms my heart to see young people be able to get this message early. And if they can embrace this now, they're our future. They're the ones who are going to change it, and perhaps that we can have a different perspective on the world as they go on.
Hands Across Campus is just the first of many events celebrated at Torrance High. Black History Month will be celebrated in classrooms across the U.S. beginning February 1st.
Mayor and members of the City Council recently celebrated the grand opening of Torrance's sleek new Ferrari dealership.
1, 2, 3. Very exciting evening because a high-end dealership like this brings an awful lot to our community. It just shows the landscape of Hawthorne Boulevard is totally changing from what it was 4 or 5 years ago to what it is today. Car dealerships with the magnitude of Ferrari really bring an awful lot to our community.
Mayor Fury, along with hundreds of guests, arrived at the 2-story, 23,000 square foot showroom featuring the luxury brand Ferrari. Giacomo Mattioli, the owner and president of the dealership, shared his excitement for the opportunity.
This has been an exciting process, and all the officials have been very supportive from the very first moment. And, we're excited to be here. I think 2015 is going to be a very good year. With Ferrari, we have a very interesting line of products. And the building that turned out pretty nice, and I hope you guys can come by and visit.
Mattioli says he plans to sell about 100 cars per year out of this dealership. On average, each car costs a whopping $260,000. Now, Hawthorne Boulevard, considered prime real estate, has seen a major growth since the Great Recession. Now the major thoroughfare is booming with businesses including the newly remodeled Audi, Honda, and now Ferrari dealerships. The South Bay Ferrari dealership is Mattioli's third. He also owns Ferrari Beverly Hills and Ferrari Silicon Valley. A 4th Ferrari Los Angeles is due to open next month in Van Nuys.
And speaking of new businesses in Torrance, with all the renovations at Del Amo Fashion Center, it might look nothing like you remember it. Julie Chan gives us a look at what's in store at the evolving shopping center with a sneak peek from her show, Spotlight Torrance.
While you may not recognize Del Amo Fashion Center at the moment, by year end, the new additions will be ready for shoppers.
We have some really exciting new stores that you should definitely come check out.
By spring, Frostbite's Crepes should be open in the outdoor pavilion near Old Navy. And by summer, Manichi Ramen will be joining the array of options at patio cafes. At the time of the interview, Sumo Salad was under construction with a scheduled opening for end of January. Matt Yuroditsky is co-master franchisor of the Australian-based eatery.
The guys at Simon Group, they're doing this $450 million renovation here at Del Amo Fashion Center. We were lucky enough to get a meeting and then lucky enough to get approved for a lease. And I mean, literally, it's been about 9 months since we started the lease and started construction. So it's been a very long process, but we're super excited to be part of the Simon Group family and not only to mention this huge renovation that'll be done in about a year.
Besides the dining options, Typo is the latest opening and one of the largest in the country, with all kinds of gifts and accessories, including some home decor.
We have our Phase 1 and Juniors Court that's been open, and we're super excited about all the stores we have here. Construction is progressing very nicely with the new 2-level mall that's coming.
The brand new parking structure here at Del Amo Fashion Center has entrances leading straight into the new Nordstrom's, which is on time and scheduled to open in October of 2015.
Junior's Court is ready for customers with a brand new Skechers, including a permanent pop-up shop for performance shoes. You'll also find Finish Line and Nike Track Club, specializing in Nike gear not sold elsewhere. Stay tuned for more shops to be unveiled in the new two-story portion of the mall.
Make sure to follow us on our Facebook page at Del Amo Fashion Center. We'll be gearing up to announce some new stores that'll be joining the lineup. So there's some really exciting things to be announcing along the way. So stay in touch.
Thanks, Julie. That full episode of Spotlight Torrance will air beginning February 4th at 1:30 and 7:30 daily on CitiCABLE.
Super Bowl Sunday is quickly approaching, and this year Torrance residents will be able to see a local establishment on display. AMF collaborated with NBA All-Star Chris Paul to put on the 6th annual bowling fundraiser, CP3 PBA Celebrity Invitational. The event is set to air on ESPN Super Bowl Sunday from Torrance's very own Bowl-O-Jerome Lanes. The celebrity invitees include actor, comedian, and television personality Nick Cannon, former NFL star Terrell Owens, Grey's Anatomy's Jesse Williams, and of course, the LA Clipper point guard Chris Paul himself. Partnered with the Professional Bowling Association, several of the tour's top professionals will be in the event as well, with money raised at the star-studded affair going to Paul's CP3 Foundation. It's a nonprofit the Los Angeles Clippers point guard runs to help mostly children and even offer scholarships to students and aspiring student athletes. AMF representatives were excited to bring the celebrity bowling tournament to Torrance's renovated lanes.
We actually got involved with the PBA earlier this year. We talked about where can we host the Chris Paul Invitational, and there was no other choice for us besides right here in Torrance at AMF Bowl-O-Jerome. This is just a great center. This is a great community. We love our loyal bowlers here, from our league bowlers to our casual bowlers, our Saturday night bowlers. And we thought, what better way than show off, as you've seen, what we've done to this center, which is a significant upgrade. Everything from bar area and the food and the beverage menu has been upgraded. So what better way to show it off than with a great debut at the PBA, the Chris Paul Invitational.
Meanwhile, Paul himself is no stranger to doing good deeds in Torrance. Just before Christmas, he and actor Kevin Hart brought 100 children to Toys R Us on Hawthorne Boulevard in Torrance for a shopping spree.
It's really big for me and my wife to show our kids how to give back and how to be appreciative and grateful for the things that you have in life. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because when I was a kid, my parents and my grandparents constantly showed me what it was like to help others, and it becomes contagious.
For more from that night with the stars, you can watch the Sports Desk, where host Juan Hernandez talks with the celebrity bowlers and their professional tour competitors. Well, still ahead, we'll fill you in on some local events coming up.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back, everybody. We hope you have your pen and paper handy. Here are a few noteworthy events to tell you all about. The city's Popular Students and Government Day program is back encouraging youth participation in community affairs. 8th graders interested in applying this year are asked to submit a 100 to 150 word essay on the question, the 26th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution grants U.S. citizens who are 18 years of age or older the right to vote. What can you do now and in the next few years until you are 18 to prepare yourself to be a well-informed voter, and how will this preparation help your decision making? Now information and forms are available at local schools and online on the city's website. The deadline to apply is Tuesday, February 10th. Selected students will be invited to take part in various activities, including shadowing the mayor, council members, and executive staff in their jobs, and help open a regularly scheduled city council meeting live on CitiCABLE later that night, and even conduct some official city business. For more information or for questions, call the city manager's office at 310-618-5880. Selected students will participate in the 9th Annual Students and Government Day held on Tuesday, May 5th. And if you're looking for something fun and exciting and best of all free to do with your family, then you'll want to mark your calendars for Saturday, January 31st, as some of the biggest museums around Southern California take part in the 10th Annual Museum's Free for All program. This includes free admission to the public for one day. Among the participating museums this year will be the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, the Museum of Contemporary Art, the California Science Center, and the Skirball Cultural Center. Here in Torrance, the Torrance Art Museum is always free year-round. You can find out more on which museums are participating. Go to museumsla.org. And it's quickly becoming a Torrance tradition. Dancing with the Stars 4 is coming to town. On February 7th, local South Bay stars will be paired with professional dancers to raise funds for their favorite nonprofit organizations. It takes place at the James Armstrong Theater. You can learn more about the event by visiting torrancearts.org. The Katie Geisert Library will now be under construction. Visitors to the library will notice a missing donor wall, making space for the planned construction projects, but it will be reconstructed at the conclusion of the project with all past donor names and acknowledgments intact. Another note to anybody going to the library, the Torrance Boulevard entrance doors will be closed. Library staff wants you to know you can come in through the sliding doors that open to the building's lobby. So you can still visit the library with access to all its services. But if you have any questions regarding construction, you can reach Hillary Thayer at 310-618-5950. And just a reminder, now you can watch CitiCABLE and all our programming live on the air on KNET Channel 25.2. This new channel is available with a rooftop antenna, set-top antenna, or an indoor HD antenna like the ones we use here at CitiCABLE. The over-the-air programming will allow viewers to catch broadcast with or without cable service. And of course, you'll still be able to catch the Super Bowl. Now let's check in with Juan Hernandez at the Sports Desk to see what's going on in Torrance's sports scene.
Welcome into the Sports Desk studio. This week on the show, we're hitting the red carpet. It's going to be a Super Bowl Sunday celebration with plenty of All-Stars coming to town. You can catch that at 4 p.m. and 9:30 every day right here on CitiCABLE 3. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Juan. That does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. Oh, whoa. We got a little surprise before we end the show. We got and Juan Hernandez is here.
You guys are too much.
Happy birthday to Jin Chin.
Thank you so much. You guys are so wonderful.
She's not getting older. She's getting better. She's not getting older. She's getting better.
21st birthday again.
21st.
It's my 10th anniversary of my 21st birthday. And I'm Jin Chin. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again next time.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Ben.